now resume the hearing of the budget of the Department of Transportation. Sorry for the little delay because we are waiting. We are waiting also for the arrival of the other centers. And our chair of the committee, the Finance Committee, particularly Senator Lauren, would also want to join us now because she has some concerns, especially regarding the obligations and the obligation rate and the others of the major projects, especially the airport projects. So we have touched on the airport projects last hearing, and also on the railways. So we'll just ask the others, no, probably we'll make the most out of the opportunity of that the other officers are here with other issues as well. So hopefully we will be able to finish the budget briefing by before 12 noon. So yun din na maganda, at least Thursday. Wala ho masyadong senador dito, walang session, kaya hopefully mapabilis tayo ngayon. Okay? So that's the advantage of being here on a Thursday. Okay. But anyway, some senators have already propounded their concerns. I will just ask on their behalf. So I'd like to ask the committee secretary first to acknowledge the resource persons present for today.
Good morning, everyone. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of the following resource person. From the DOTR Secretary Arthur Tugade, USEC Gary de Guzman, USEC Captain Manuel Tamayo, USEC Timothy John Batan, USEC Rainier Yerba, USEC Ruben Reynoso, ASEC Mark Richmond de Leon, Attorney Giovanni Lopez, ASEC Manuel S. Gonzalez. From the MRT3, we have General Rodolfo J. Garcia. From the LTO, we have ASEC Edgar Galvante. From the CAB, Attorney Carmelo Arcilia. From OTC, we have Mr. Midel Afalia. From the TBR, Engineer Abraham Sales. From PCG, we have Commandant Elson Hermojino. From Marina, we have General Ray Guerrero, Leonardo Guerrero. From the LTFRB, we have Engineer Ronaldo Corpus. From we have Attorney ASEC Lino Dabi, also from the DOTR. From the PNR, we have Ms. Celeste Lauta. From the LRTA, we have Attorney Jabel Belarmino, the Deputy Administrator. From the PPA, we have Attorney J. Santiago. Did I miss anyone? Okay, that would be all. Thank you.
Thank you. So probably we could start. Probably we can we'll go back to the airports concerns regarding the airports later on as the chair of the Committee on Finance will arrive later around 10:30. So we'll go back to the airport concerns later. And likewise, the right of way. Meron siyang mga concerns also on the right of way, especially probably for the railways, railway projects. So we'll just go for the first probably to the LTFRB. Si Chairman Delga, is he here? Wala si Chairman. Sino po mag-represent? Okay po. Doon po sa PUV modernization. Where is Chairman Delga? He was here last time, no?
Official travel po siya abroad.
Okay. Anyway, I hope you can answer the best of your ability. And I see here. I see Commissioner at the back also. Last year, the OTR officially launched its Public Utility Vehicle or PUV Modernization Program, the Jeepney Modernization Program, which orders the replacement of jeepneys aged 15 years or older. Major component of the PUV modernization is the Omnibus Franchising Guidelines, which introduces reforms in granting of franchises by implementing new route planning rules in coordination with LGUs and improved standards for operators and vehicles. LTFRB will also require existing operators to consolidate into cooperatives and or consortiums to gain better access to resources, share operations and maintenance costs, and maximize profits through efficient vehicle dispatch. My question is, actually sa mga ibang senador to na pinadala sa akin, what is the status of the BOE modernization program? Please explain also the timeline if you can. Sige pa, engineer. You're a commissioner also. Sige pa.
Magandang umaga po. Yung aming pong PUB MP routes, meron na po kami nailabas na 131 routes. Pagka nailagay na po sa karsada ito, it would involve about 3,200 units. New OFG compliant units.
3,200
po.
200 units. So meron akong approved 131 routes.
Approved po for kung sino po ang pwede mag-apply na. So na-i-publish na po ito mga to. Out of this po, 16 na po yung routes na meron na pong napili na operators. So ito pong 16 routes na to, consisting of 706 new units. Pero so far po, dahil medyo may problema ng konti sa manufacturing, 198 units po ang on the road na ngayon.
Anong routes pa to? Will you be prioritizing Metro NCR? NCR ba ito karamihan?
Meron po. Siyam NCR po ito. Buendia Pitex, Bito Cruz Pitex, Loop, Bagong Bayan Pasig, Fort Bonifacio Guadalupe Market, Pitex Loton, Eastwood Libis Capitol Commons, Buendia Mandaluyong City Hall, Parang Marikina to Stop and Shop, and Manila City Hall, Quezon City Hall po.
Okay, so ano po yan? Existing na ito? Operational na, the routes? So does that mean that yung mga old jeepneys are andun pa rin ho or gradual ang phase out?
So far po, nandun pa rin po yung mga
andun
iba.
pa rin. So how will the phase out, how will that happen if they are still there? Paano, may phase out ba?
Actually po,
Will the old operators be also the old drivers, sila rin po ba ang nagmamaneho itong mga bagong jeepneys? Mga modern?
meron pong ganun. Yung po kasi mga individual operators ngayon, binigyan po natin sila ng panahon, actually hanggang March next year, para mag-consolidate into corporations or cooperatives.
But just want to make sure that the drivers of the new modern jeepneys are mga former drivers din ba ito? Ng mga existing
posible
lines?
Po. Opo, posible.
Kasi we do not want to add, baka mamaya nandun pa rin yung dati, walang mangyayari. Diba? We will not be decongesting, and we will not be able to have a transition of what yan po ang gusto naman ng departamento at ni Presidente, from what I know. No? Yung transition. Okay, so how many more routes will be in operational next year? Para NCR karamihan, ano? And some probably in Cebu and Davao. Probably the major.
Meron po Region 6, Region 8. So far po kasi halos po sabay-sabay na rin lumabas yung mga itong routes na 131. Nagkakaroon lang ho nata ng konting problema sa pagko-consolidate kasi medyo it requires more time po yata para maituloy na yung application nila.
Is this under DOTR ang supervision or there are other entities or organizing them on their own, yung modernization?
OTC
meron
po,
din,
pero tumutulong po ang DOTR and
okay.
FRB to facilitate.
Kasi may mga ibang nag-ano, di ba? Other proponents that so DOTR is supervising the other proponents. Pamatay no si former mayor, si Congressman Tinga, meron siyang e-jeepney, no? Nag-propose nga sa amin sa San Juan Green Hills area. Which siguro, ano ko na rin sa inyo, hopefully you can look into this because these are what you call gateways, no? Kasi ang Green Hills is a gateway because tourists and both local and foreign always go to Green Hills, and we have 20 on one street and 30 on the other street, 50 dalawang kaling maliit. So I hope that we can do something about this, no? Baka pwedeng isama niyo na sa mga ipa-prioritize. Because I think these areas, no, yung mga talagang BGC, Makati, yung mga tourism areas, dapat ito i-showcase, no, And also, ito yung tinupuntahan ng mga iba rin dayo from the provinces, pupunta. At least makita nila yung, if it's successful, di ba, here, then they can already push for their own programs back in their provinces. And then may update pa tayo kung magkano ba talaga ang isa sa mga ano rito, ang inaangal yung presyo. Again, just for the record, magkano po inaabot ang presyo ng modern jeep?
Pwede po ba si ASEC Mark?
Sige po. Go ahead.
Mr.
ASEC
Chair,
Mark.
yeah. Mr. Chair, yung mga modern jeepneys natin ranges from 1.4 to 1.8 million each. Pero ang sinasabi po natin dito, sir, kapag titingnan to dun sa existing mode of operations nila na individual units, individual franchise, mukhang malaki. Pero kapag tiningnan ito dun sa polisiya natin na kailangan nila mag-consolidate, masishare nga nila yung cost ng capital expense ng pagbili ng jeepney. Kunyari, 500 sila sa isang ruta ngayon, ano? Tapos kapag nag-consolidate sila, require sila ng LTFRB to have 200 units. Ibig sabihin, 500 yung nag-share ng cost to purchase the 200 units. So, ibig sabihin, mas makakamenos pa nga sila dito sa modernization
Likewise,
program.
is DBP Land Bank extending the loan
Tama po yun.
loans?
Tama po yun,
And
Mr.
probably
Chair.
that will be very reasonable, I'm sure, if it's DBP.
Napaka-generous po nung binigay na financial package ng ating government financing institution. Ang binigay po nila is yung guidance po ni Secretary Tugade na 5, 6, 7, 8. 5% yung kanilang equity, 6% interest rate, and para mas lalong bumaba yung kanilang repayment, 7 years yung kanilang repayment
5%
period.
ang
Rate
rate?
down payment. Down payment po, sir.
5% lang, okay.
Ang down
How about the
payment.
rate? How much annual?
6% po yung rate nila, and 7
Annual
years.
hindi
Yes,
na.
sir.
Okay, good.
Then 7 years to pay. And ang sinasabi po namin, binigyan din po namin sila ng subsidiya na 80,000 pesos. So ibig sabihin po nun, yung mga operators natin na willing na mag-modernize, hindi na po nila kailangan magbayad ng down payment kasi yung 80,000 na yan na yung magsisilbing down payment ng kanilang mga jeepney units. So bali babayaran na lang po nila yung kanilang monthly amortization. Wala po silang linalabas na pera para dun sa kanilang
That's
pag-modernize.
very light. Kung 5% lang down payment, usually at least 30%.
Yes,
diba?
sir,
In
for
other cars.
commercial banks. Pero dito sa ating
I hope that
programa,
sana malaman din ng ng ating mga jeepney operators and drivers that is very reasonable, and hindi usually talagang ang practice is 30%
tama
at
po yun,
least.
sir.
So that's 5% is really already, kumbaga ano na ito tulong, dapat ma-realize na tulong doon sa kanila. Anyway, doon na sa how many operators already ang nakabili existing, just an update. How many operators, how many jeeps already running? Ano lang to, mga patanong sa akin to. Anyway. And likewise, siguro matanong na rin yung deadline up to when, yung timeline, no? Yun po, siguro paki-explain na rin po for the information of this committee.
Mr. Chair, yung sinabi kanina ni Board Member Corpus, no? We have almost 131 routes, no? That is already being processed in the LTFRB, and we also receive at least 600 applications dito sa DOTR. Pinaprocess ito
So
ngayon.
mabagal lang yung supply actually, sabi niya, no?
Yu-
Dahil 190 pa lang ang nasusupply ng mga manufacturers. Tama ba?
Actually, nag-pick up na yung supply dahil yung mga suppliers naman natin, these are big companies already na is already mass producing yung mga jeepneys natin. So, aside from the 131 routes na it's already under process sa LTFRB, at least 600 applications na yung natanggap natin sa DOTR na pinaprocess din namin ngayon sa DOTR. So, ibig sabihin po nun, malakas na talaga yung acceptability ng programa sa mga ating public transport
I
operators.
guess, ASEC Mark, we just have to fast track siguro if we can, sabi ko nga, ang i-prioritize nyo yung mga gateways, no, and yung mga puntahan, both foreign and Green Hills, BGC, hindi naman sa Makati. These are the areas that are frequented by both foreign and local tourists. At yung local tourists, marami dyan, mga local officials or others, makikita nila, yung acceptability will be faster. Pag nakita na maganda, then I think the acceptability will help you convince most of the talaga mahirap if your reforms change is really met with resistance, di ba? Kaya lang, you just have to put your foot down and you have to make sure that talaga pakita na talagang it will be beneficial for everybody. Di ba?
Tama po yun, Mr. Chair. So, yung isang tanong po ninyo is yung transition period, kung kailan sila magmo-modernize. Binigyan po natin sila ng 3 years nung 2017 nung pinirmahan yung Omnibus Franchising Guidelines para mag-modernize. So, unti-unti ang ginagawa natin ngayon is talagang tinuturuan sila kung paano mag-consolidate at pinapaalam sa kanila yung benepisyo ng programa. So, we are on track on the program, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Asek Mark. I hope you can just send a report regarding PUJ, the modern jeepney, PUB modernization to this committee, because there are some senators who have asked their concerns. So, at least we can already provide them your report, and also the timeline. Okay, because a lot of operators in groups are very concerned, pero dapat siguro talagang kailangan dialogue, and also they have to be informed of the moves and the plans of the agencies. With regard to the social support mechanism for PUV modernization, magkano meron ba tayong budget dito, and ilan driver ba ang nag-avail? Can we know?
Sir, sa ngayon, ang naka-budget po sa atin for 2018 is 500 million. Ang intention po natin dito is magkakaroon tayo ng agreement with TESDA, DTI, DOLE, and DAP para dito sa social mitigating measures ng mga drivers. So magkakaroon tayong mga livelihood trainings, scholarships, and mga programs for this affected drivers, pati yung mga magmo-modernize. Kasi yung kailangan mag-modernize, kailangan din nilang maintindihan yung konsepto ng fleet management. Kailangan nila maintindihan din po yung konsepto ng maintenance ng sasakyan nila, and also financial management. So kasama po yan sa ibibigay po nating trainings dito sa mga existing operators and drivers.
And also, Asek Mark, may nakita kong medyo naging controversial yung please clarify, yung statement na nakita ko lang sa news, may mga nag-react. So I hope you can also address that, Siyempre, alam mo naman, kailangan natin yung mga organizations, mga groups, yung na public transport should not be seen as a means of livelihood. Mo na clarify so that at least alam naman natin dapat to utility and service. So I think it came from you para lang yung reaction ng iba mapacify natin.
Salamat po, Mr. Chair. Yung statement po natin na yun kahapon, ang sinasabi po natin doon, yung mga existing operators po natin kasi naging practice na talaga yung individual operator, individual franchise. So talagang tinignan nito as a means of livelihood. Pero ang sinabi po natin doon kahapon, ito yung pinakaugat talaga ng inefficiency ng ating public transport system. Na kapag tayo yung nag-modernize, kailangan nga natin to na maging consolidated yung operations para mas makuha nila yung benepisyo ng programa. Kapag consolidated operations and mas maayos yung pagpapatakbo ng ating public transport system, doon natin makikita yung benepisyo pati sa mga commuters. So yung mga commuters, mas magiging reliable yung kanilang public transport, everyday public transport service.
Well, kailangan talaga ang political will. The same with that all taxi operators in the entry of TNVs, dapat talaga mag-level up din sila, mag-improve din sila ng services, di ba? And after all, it's the public who will benefit from all of this. Kaya lang, you just have to communicate it well para hindi, kasi marami-rami rin po yan para lang hindi tayo ma-misinterpret. Okay, tas meron po akong concern lang, siguro nakarating sa LTFRB, since wala si Chairman Delga, I hope you can answer in his behalf. Andiyan na si Commissioner Eileen din sa likod, I see her. Yung sa ACTO, yung sa Alliance of Concerned Transport Organizations, Efren de Luna sued LTFRB Chairman Martin Delgra for showing bias and favoritism for several transport groups who applied for certificates of public convenience or CPC to operate newly open routes for PUVs. So, may LTFRB Board Resolution number 45, series of 2018, opened a total of 1,229 franchises across 8 regions for the initial implementation of the PUB modernization program. De Luna said the respondents seem to favor certain transport groups when they close applications for 5 routes, when in fact these franchises are still open under the same LTFRB resolution. Siguro Commissioner Corpus or si Commissioner Eileen is there. May I know the position or the response of Chairman Delga regarding these allegations?
Senator, actually, I cannot second guess yung position ni Chairman dyan. Actually, kasama rin ho yata ako sa demanda dyan.
Siguro, probably can explain, siguro just a brief backgrounder because we still have a lot of agencies to tackle.
Sa pagkakaintindi ko po kasi, noong po nag-uumpisa itong PUBMP, kinakausap na po namin yung mga operators, yung mga leaders. Sabi po namin, kung kayo po ay sumasang-ayon sa amin sa PUBMP plan natin, ay mag-umpisa na po kayo mag-consolidate, gumawa na po kayo ng inyong mga korporasyon or cooperative. Meron po mga nauna, tapos sabi rin po namin, kung meron kayong alam, kasi kayo naman nasa karsada kung meron kayong alam na bagong ruta na dapat lagyan niyang sasakyan, isabi mo sa amin, isubmit mo sa DOTR at LTFRB at atin niyang pag-uusapan at i-evaluate. Ngayon po, nung lumabas naman po yung board reso, yung pong nakalagay kasi dyan na mga pangalan, yan po yung nag-identify ng routes. Yung po ang
so modernization lahat to, no? New routes.
New routes po yan.
So, totoo ba? 1,229 franchise? Ang dami. Ganun karami.
Units po.
Units yan. Units. Okay. So, ilang routes po ito total? 8 regions. For 8 regions.
Hindi ko po maalala, pero marami-rami po yan. Pero kasama na po yan dito sa diniscuss kong 131.
How many suppliers do we have? Do we just have one? Or meron tayong iba-ibang suppliers ng models? No, itong modern jeepneys. Sige, Asik Mark.
Mr. Chair, ang position po ng Department of Transportation is any manufacturer who's willing to supply the units can enter the program. Wala po tayong ina-accredit, wala po tayong binibigyan ng pabor na manufacturers. Yung operators po who are willing to modernize, bahala po silang mamili kung saan sila kukuhang mga units. So we have now at least more than a dozen manufacturers who are supplying these modern jeepneys, including yung mga dati natin na mga kilala, like yung mga Sarao and Francisco Motors. They are also now into the modernization program.
Okay, good. So there's just a parang prototype, so it's up to them. Okay, so what's the status ng mga application of fruits ongoing? But can you assure us that yung po ito mga sinasabi po na mga concerns po ni Acto at ni De Luna ay ni Efren De Luna will be addressed, no? Ito pong sinasabi may bias. Sige, Asek Mark, can you
Mr. Chair, yung kasagutan po dyan sa allegations po na yan, ang position po ng DOTR dyan is no one has the monopoly of the routes. Kung sino man yung gustong mag-operate dun sa mga ruta na yon, we will welcome them as long as they are compliant and as long as they follow the policies of the DOTR.
That would actually naging maganda sana kasi kung nagkaroon tayo ng emergency powers, it will also give you the power to reorganize everything kasi ngayon ang gulo di ba? Siguro through the years nagpatong-patong na different LTFRB head, different DOTR, iba-iba. So nagkapatong-patong na and we really need to fix the system. Especially sa amin, yung concern yung po yung sinasabi ko sa Green Hills na 2 kalye papunta ron, magkaiba pang rota. Yung mga dating routes from dating San Juan Taytay, doon na sila siguro mas maikli, pareho rin siguro kita na, mas malaki pa dahil sa volume, kaya lang may mga ganun So ito mga to, hopefully you can in whatever powers you can and if you can institute reforms at ayusin yung mga overlapping o magagulong rota. Okay. We understand it's really difficult, no, kasi nga mga inaabot nyo na lang to yung mga through the years, so iba-ibang head, iba-ibang approval, kaya lang dapat ang if reform ayusin. I'd like to also regarding sa LTFRB sa TNVS operation, no? Earlier this year, LTFRB raised the common supply base of TNVs from 45,700 to 65,000. However, given the increase in demand, there are numerous complaints that it takes a long time pa rin. No? Ito yung dating complaint pa rin nung pumutok yung TNCs, TNB issue, that it takes a long time. Matagal pa ba rin yung pag-issue nyo ng franchise to the TNVs?
Medyo po, kanya lang po, nag-i-innovate naman po kami. Ang umpisa ngayon po, pwede na yung iba na pumasok through online registration. Tapos, i-schedule na lang po sila pag may hearings na para tuloy-tuloy lang pong ikot.
Pero just implement yung I can remember during the yung pong kainitan ng issue ng TNCs, TNVs, Uber and Grab, dapat lang may delineation pa rin with the yung taxi operators. Ilan ko nga po ba para lang to recap and for everybody to be informed. Ang minimum 2 or 3 na lang ang tama ho ba for TNCs?
3 per operator po.
Per operator.
Maximum.
O kasi nangyari nun, since gumanda yung Grab at Uber at that time, mayroong mga 10, 20. So, that should already be considered as regular taxi operation. So, in-implement nyo na ito na hanggang 2 at hanggang 3 lang. Okay. Of course, we have to protect also yung mga matagal na ng sila yung may franchise talaga. Okay? Now, since the merger of Grab and Uber, LTFRB has accredited 10 TNCs, including Hype, Golag, Hirna, Auto, and MyCab. Currently, how many transport network companies are operating in the country and how many drivers are registered to each?
The number of drivers po, wala ako idea. Pero 6 na po yung accredited na new TNCs. Pero meron pa pong pending na 5 under evaluation.
So, 6 na sila, ang
Apo.
TNCs.
Apo.
Pero siguro ilang porsyento pa rin ng Grab? Siguro 80, probably, more.
Parang ganyan.
Kasi bago lang yung iba eh. It will take a while for them to be able to get the market share. So, tanong ko lang, since the time you implemented this cap, diba, nagkaroon na kayo ng cap? No? Was there a significant decrease of cars flying the Metro Manila roads?
Honestly po, wala akong masyado napansin pa na nagbago.
Wala pa rin. Kasi nag-cap na kayo, no? From 65,000 to 45,700. Tapos ito, pakiclear na lang ho yung LTFRB approved yung 2 pesos per minute travel time charge regarding TNVs. For the record of this committee, paano ba mag-charge ang TNVs prior to this 2 pesos per minute travel time charge? How does this differ now from the regular taxis?
Yung regular taxi po kasi, wala siyang actually surge price o yung multiplier. Pero halos magkakapareho po sila, pareho po sila sa time rate travel na 2 pesos per minute from origin to destination. So, yun po yun.
Na-resolve na po yun? So, 2 pesos yun, no? Parang
Apo. Per minute.
per minute.
Apo.
So, di parang ano na rin? Sa regular taxi, is it the same?
The same po, pero meron po naman surge price kasi yung TNVS kasi may maximum siyang may times 2. Yun po yung kanyang premium.
Yung mga regular taxi ba, yung ano, do they now have apps daw?
Meron na po.
Meron na sila, di ba?
Meron na po.
Okay. So, will that improve their services? I hope.
Dapat po.
Okay, next. Andito na rin ang LTO, si Asik Galbante. Again, babalikan na lang ho natin yung given the Supreme Court, yung po sa plate number siguro, allowing the distribution of license plates, what is the status of the production and distribution of license cards and plates, at yung backlog at up to when po natin na mahabol yung backlog.
Your Honor, ang estimate po namin yan is 2019, about third quarter of 2019, ma-wipe out na po natin yung backlog for...
Yung sa license, wala na, no? Wala tayong problema.
Wala na po. Nagpapatuloy na po yung ating pag-issuance nito. Lahat po ng LTO Licensing Office buong Pilipinas nakakapag-issue na po. Meron nga lang pong mga ilang problema kung halimbawa nagma-malfunction yung machine. Asikaso naman po natin to. Doon po sa license plates, yung ating planta po, nagpo-produce na po ng license plates at in fact, na-deliver na po sa mga regions yung license plates na nagawa hanggang April 2017. At ito po ay available na para kunin ng may-ari. In fact, nagpapatulong po tayo sa mga car dealers na notifyin yung mga owner ng mga license plates so that they can also help us distribute this to the car dealers, to the car owners. Yung pong license plates na supposed to be supplied by JKG and power plates, na-lift na po yung prohibition ng in effect ng Supreme Court at saka ng COA. Kaya po ito'y pinag-uusapan na namin kung paano nila may pagpapatuloy yung delivery. Meron po silang nakabinbin na 300,000 na manufactured plates already and 2 million na blank plates. Ito po ang pinag-uusapan namin ngayon kung ano yung schedule nila ng delivery. At yung paniningil po nila, sinesettle din po natin yung mga dapat lang bayaran, lalong-lalo na po kung may mga penalties doon sa delayed ng pag-deliver nila. And again, Your Honor, we feel that by 2019, ito pong backlog na ito ay masasagot na.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Asik Galbante. Well, that's good news. At least medyo matagal nag-aantay ang publiko, no, ng kasagutan, especially with the plates. It's also for the peace and order security. Malaking bagay ho yun, no?
Maidagdag ko lang po, Your Honor, doon sa aming pilot testing nung sinasabi naming moving forward, naka-issue na po kami ng mahigit 1,000 plates for the current release cars. Ito po, ibig sabihin po nito, ng paglabas ng vehicle sa dealers, meron na pong plaka. At may mga nag-indicate po na about 162 dealers na gustong mag-participate dito sa pilot program namin ito. Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, thank you. I hope that I will continue with that pace so that all the yung backlog talaga matapos na. It's not only it really help, especially sa push and order din, nakakatulong din yan, no? Ang hirap nung walang mga original mga plates.
Yes, Your Honor. Maidagdag ko rin po, yung question po kasi tungkol sa motorcycle plates. Minabuti po namin hindi manufacturing muna yung motorcycle plates, pero handa po kaming gawin yan as soon as labas na po yung bagong batas na nag-uutos na palalakihin yung plate ng motorsiklo. Kaya
so, hinod nyo muna talaga.
Opo. Kasi sayang naman po kung gagamitin natin yung old form pagkatapos magbabago na pala ang size, baka re-recolin po natin yon.
Anyway, kasi problema sa mga motor, I think that is very important kasi ang dami hong especially ginagamit sa riding in tandems for crimes, karamihan motorcycles, no? Anyway, actually one of the purposes why Senator Gordon wanted a bigger plate, no, for motorcycles, probably for peace and order as well. So magiging front and back ba o front o back lang? Mas malaki lang.
Yun po ang rini-resolve pa rin, but doon po sa hearing sa lower house, ang preference po nila back lang. Kasi mayroon pong safety concern yung paglalagay ng
kasi
plaka
baka
sa harap.
sumabit yun ang problema lang doon. Safety rin. Baka naman sumabit. Ano yung motor, maliit tapos mas malaki. Because I'm also a rider, so concerned. Huwag masyadong malaki, mahirap.
Ang pinag-uutos po tentatively ay yung readable from a distance of 15 meters.
Okay, that's just wanted an update. And also, last year, pinag-usapan din yung tungkol sa motor vehicle inspection system. At the time, you said, wala na hong gumagana sa mga MVIS.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, what is the plan of the
sa
agency?
ngayon po, may na-rehabilitate kaming 4 lanes, dalawa sa compound ng central office at dalawa rito sa Pasay area. But on stream ay yung procurement po ng 26 mobile motor vehicle inspection system at ito po ay ibinibid na ng PITC.
Also, there currently you have 26 proposed
26
for mobile,
mobile
MVIS.
motor vehicle inspection system. But
Okay.
more than that, the Secretary Tugade has issued the guidelines on allowing private entities to put up motor vehicle inspection system. Ito po ay tinatapos natin yung implementing rules para welcomein po natin yung mga interesadong private groups na mag-operate ng motor vehicle inspection system.
Oh, kasi ang dami na before, ang dami na nito eh, no? May MVIS, pero pabayaan during when was this neglected during the last administration na napabayaan na.
Actually po, since 2013,
So waste of
medyo
money kasi sayang because it's also safety of our motor vehicles on the road, especially yung public vehicles.
Opo.
Before we continue, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of my colleague, Senator Angara.
Salamat,
Co-seatmate.
Sen. JV. May I borrow 1 minute from your
Yeah,
time?
sure.
Magandang umaga po, Secretary Art, sa pamilya po ng DOTR. Magandang umaga po sa mga attached agencies. Just want to personally commend the Secretary for being there on the ground when the Typhoon Ompong hit. I saw your interview. Nasa restaurant yata kayo noon, sir. So congratulations, no. Na-appreciate natin yung ganong klaseng action. And I think pag ganon yung pagtutok natin sa infrastruktura, our chairman is one of the biggest advocates for infrastructure development in the chamber. Tayo sumusuporta po sa kanya bilang kapwa niyang vice chair, sir. And I understand that of the 55 airports you proposed, only 5 were funded by the DBM, no? Pero marami mang nagbabago sa Kongreso ho eh. So alam niyo naman, yan ang trabaho namin dito, di ba? Dapat balasahin po namin yung budget. So definitely, Sec, we support the increase of that because our economy will hindi lilipad to kung walang infrastruktura. That's the backbone, no? So we will support initiatives to restore some of your proposals, and I'm sure we will support any initiatives of the chair in that direction, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Senator Angara, for your support, especially we discussed that thoroughly last time, no? That the upgrading of the provincial airport is very essential in decongesting the NAIA traffic problem. That's the best that we can do right now, given the physical limitations of our primary airport, Senator Angara, no? So I thank you for the support kasi I think there are about the DOTR intends to upgrade about 4 airports to be night rated every year, but because of the cuts, no, by 2019 mawawalan tayo ng 4, no, but that will greatly affect the program, no, kasi nga kinakailangan we need more slots, and the only way we can add more slots is to upgrade most of the provincial airports. Tama ba, Yusek Tamayo? Para lang malaman ni Senator Angara, matulungan tayo sa pag-restore ng budget for the upgrading, 4 na airport. Which airports are these again? Para lang malaman for the record.
Through the chair, sir. Good morning, Senator. That is correct. Right now we have 44 airports that are commercially served. Now, when we took over, there were only 15 that are night rated, and then since then, 2017, we added an additional 4 airports. So this year, 2 ang target natin. And then succeeding year, next year, we're looking at 5 more. And so on, until we are able to nitrate all of our commercially served airports in the country.
And incidentally, it's not just more slots and decongestion of NAIA, but more, especially the tourist spots, they can now fly directly. Therefore, also decongesting Manila, hindi na dadaan dito. Diba? Especially Bohol, Panglao, Puerto Princesa, Iloilo, ano pa ba yung mga tourist spots. Siguro dapat unahin natin yon. Tama.
That's correct, sir, through the chair. In fact, Bohol will be inaugurated we have a date already for the inauguration. That's 22 November. And then as far as Puerto Princesa is concerned, may mga direct flights na ho tayo coming from China. Hindi na ho dumadaan dito. They fly direct to Puerto Princesa already. The same with our other regional airports. And Davao, for the information of everyone, we expect Qatar to start flying to Davao within the year. At the same time, Hong Kong Dragon, we expect them to fly to Davao from Hong Kong. So direct flights na ho, Hong Kong to Davao, or Qatar can connect Davao to the world.
To Iloilo, di ba? May direct flight na rin from Iloilo to Korea ba or to Hong Kong?
Meron na rin, sir. Meron na rin.
We support those. Those initiatives talaga, mamumunga yan Mr. Chairman. So, makikita yung benefits sa communities, no? So, again, ang focus kasi ni Chairman is health infrastructure, mga ano ng ospital, at saka itong transport and tourism infrastructure. So, full support kami sa kanya dyan, Secretary, Chairman. Kung ano matutulong natin titingnan po natin yung budget. Mahaba pang panahon to kasi meron pa tayong period of amendments at sa House hindi pa nga tapos. So kahit yung sa kanila magbabago pa yon. Pagdating dito, pwede nating tingnan ano yung sources of funds na pwedeng hanapan.
Thank you, Senator Angara, for your support, especially for the transport sector, which is very vital for economic development.
Last question, Mr. Chair, I hope you don't mind. Ano yung budget na pinapose nyo doon for those na hindi na grant? Magkano bang hinahabol natin?
Sir, prinoposo namin mga 130 billion.
Ano ang binudget binigay sa inyo?
Actually, 160 billion.
Ang proposal?
Ang inapprove sa amin, 73 billion.
Okay, so may
basically,
87.
ang ginawa ho sa amin, 5 airport at 3 puerto na lang.
So 160 versus 73. So that's 87 billion.
50%.
Yes, sir. Okay. Thank you. Sir.
Just
Thank you, sir.
one concern na Senator Angara, especially si Senator Loren, yung pong obligation and yung rate natin mamaya siguro when she comes, she's very particular on how you're able to use the budget. Siguro yung pong rason at naman DBM mahilig mag-cut, especially pag hindi nagagamit. Okay? Likewise, the chair would like to commend Secretary Tugade for being on the ground right when Ompong was battered, your home province of Cagayan. Congratulations, and yan po ang public service. I share Senator Angara's admiration for being there on the ground during those times.
Trabaho lang po, Chairman, Senator Sani, trabaho lang ho. Sumunod lang ho sa mandato ng ating Pangulo.
Tanong ko lang, magkaka-comics din ba kayo? Hindi, joke lang. Kasi baka dati nagkaroon ng comics Hindi, joke lang. Anyway, just try to spice up the morning. Anyway, siguro doon po tayo kay, last na lang po kay Asek Galbante regarding MBUC. Tanong ko na lang, medyo rin to, we are now currently, this is quite an issue here in the Senate and the House, regarding road board. Anyway, Senator Recto expresses reservation on the plan of LTO to increase MBUC rates. Tanong lang, itutuloy niyo pa ba ang plano sa pagtaas ng inyong rates for MBUC?
Actually po, hindi nagpanukala ang LTO do sa MBUC rates. Hiningi lang po ang aming comment at sa palagay namin
sa hiningi lang na kayong comment. That was not yours.
Opo, hindi po.
Okay. Kasi medyo pinag-uusapan ngayon because the Senate already decided to abolish the road board as directed by the President because isa sa mga road board is really an agency really plagued with corruption. So the Senate already followed the directive of the President. So we already decided to abolish the road board. Okay, so next siguro sa maritime, probably siguro si Attorney Jay naman sa PPA, given the fact that we are trying to modernize and improve the airports, siguro sa ports naman, siguro quickly lang, briefly, kung ano yung ginagawa nyo, because the nautical highway, especially yung Visayas area, what are the improvements being done by the PPA so that yung ating nautical highway will still be at least maging maayos, especially for tourism.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Senator. With the permission of my secretary, Mr. Chair, on the part of PPA po, and in line with your question, Mr. Chair, as part of our development plans for 2019, our focus is other than uh, developing new ports and improving our existing ports. Part of the improvement program is really to equip a lot of our ports with RoRo ramps in order to provide further connectivity. We have noticed through our evaluation and inspection that there are certain ports which are not directly connected via RoRo to sister ports. So we are trying to equip those sister ports or those particular destinations so that from one port which is RoRo equipped, we will be able to provide connectivity through the help of Marina in allocating new routes so that the ships will be able to dock and take advantage of the RoRo facilities that we will be installing in the existing ports which are not currently equipped with RoRo ramps, Mr. Chair.
Ilan po yung may RoRo facility, capability to accept RoRo?
We can provide you the actual number. We will submit to the committee, Mr. Chair, the actual number of ports which have existing RoRo ramps and with how many ramps are actually in place. We will submit, Mr. Chair.
And given the budget cuts, there are 3 ports that will be affected. Which ports are these? Para lang alam natin kung ano yung...
Mr. Chair, yung pong ports na minention po ni our Secretary, those are ports which are being implemented by the DOTR. Those are different from the ports which are being managed and will be constructed by PPA po.
Okay, thank you. Of course, we want to also, aside from the airports, the modernization, the main railways and other infra, of course, yung ports need to be modernized as well. Because, sabi nga ni Senator Angara, these are all catalysts for economic development, no? So, palagay ko dito tayo na stack up eh. Yung ating medyo nahuli tayo sa napag-iwanan yung infrastructure development natin. So, we have a lot of catching up to do. Okay? Siguro sa Marina, Admin Guerrero, any developments with Marina in your agency?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. With the permission of our Secretary. Sa Marina po ngayon, sir, ang pinagkakabalahan po natin, sir, ay yung promotion and development ng ating maritime industry. Katuwang po namin ng Coast Guard at saka ang PPA sa promotion at saka development po ng ating maritime transport. Sa ngayon din po, ang ahensya po namin ay nangangasiwa sa ongoing na EMSA audit kung saan I'm happy to report na na-comply na po natin yung mga karamihan sa mga requirements po nila para sa ma-maintain na po yung ating rating as far as yung competence and skills ng ating mga seafarers.
So yung seafarers is under po sa inyo, no? All the seafarers. There has been parang may 25% drop daw in the deployment of the Filipino seafarers in 2017. What could be the reason for the drop?
In our engagements with the international shipping companies, ang rason po na sinasabi nila is nagkaroon daw po ng sinasabing glut dun sa demand for maritime transport internationally. And that is the reason why internationally nagkaroon daw po ng mga layover ng mga barko. Ito po yung naka-apekto sa atin. Pero nakikita po natin na slowly...
But it's still the Filipinos pa rin ang pinaka-most preferred, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
Filipino seafarers are still the most preferred all over. So how do we what is your agency doing to make sure that our seafarers are competitive and kumbaga akat above the rest dahil tayo po ang most preferred dapat we will keep it that way, no, yung ating pong standards. What is that?
Ang ginagawa po natin ay continuous monitoring and evaluation po ng ating mga schools at training centers to make sure that yung training standards po ay na-maintain at nang sa ganun yung skills and competence po ng ating mga seafarers ay masasabi natin nasa antas na kung saan ay magiging competitive po sila globally.
Thank you, General Guerrero, Admin Guerrero, for that. Yun lang po, no? Yung isang concern na lang, just one question, one concern. Tuwing nagkakaroon ng mishap, nagkakaroon po ng ng aksidente, ang madalas ay yung overloading of vessels. So, what is being done by the agency to address this problem, di ba? Kadalasan yun po ang nagiging cause. Sige po.
Kasama po yun sa ating mga polisiya pagdating po sa ship safety. Pero ang nagpapatupad po nito ay ang Coast Guard. Kaya kung mamarpatin po ninyo, kung pwede po kayo i-refer kay Coast Guard Commandant, kay Admiral Hermohino para i-explain po ito.
Thank you, Admin Guerrero. Siguro, tanin ko na rin, no? Sayang naman yung pagpunta nyo rito lahat. So, I'll try to ask everybody na may mga important concerns siguro sa Philippine Coast Guard. Do you have enough patrol officers to intercept and capture criminals, international criminals and terrorists in vessels? Ilan po siguro, especially now that we are in an archipelago, malaki po yung, medyo malaki-laki ho yung task. No? I understand because of manpower limitation and limitation on our vessels. Napakalaki ho ng ating coastline. So, madalas ang Pilipinas ay naging hub tayo for international drug trade because of our vast coastline. We understand the challenges and the problems that we have, pero ano po ang ginagawa ng Philippine Coast Guard, no? So that you can help in this war against drugs and other criminal activities. Alam naman natin si Pangulo, yan ang talagang focus niya. Sige po, Admin Hermohino.
Magandang umaga po, Mr. Chair. Una po, sagutin ko po muna yung ating concern sa overloading na nabanggit niyo po kanina. Mahigpit po yung ating pagpapatupad ng polisiya tungkol sa overloading. So lahat po ng mga sasakyan pandagat na sinasakyan ng ating mga mamayan ay may po binabantayan ng ating mga tauhan sa lahat ng puerto. So wala naman po tayong report na overloading so far. So yung pong mga aksidente na nangyayari sa kalukuyan, ito po yung mga maliliit na bangka na nanggagaling sa ibang isla na wala po tayo presensya. So hindi po natin sila ganong nababantayan. Pero pagka po may nangyari, tayo po naman ay nakakatugon sa mga insidente. Yung tungkol naman po sa yung kapabilidad ng Philippine Coast Guard. Tuloy-tuloy po yung modernization ng Philippine Coast Guard. Yung pong ating recruitment ng tao ay binigyan po tayo ng DBM ng almost 5,000 recruitment every year. So nakapag-recruit na po tayo ng mahigit 4,000 noong nakaraang taon. At dahil dito is yung ating pagpapatrolya ay lumaki. So hindi lang po tayo na limitado ngayon sa port areas, but yung ating mga tauhan ay nakakapunta na po sa ibang lugar. Ginagawa po yung coastal patrol na gamit yung ating mga maliliit na patrol craft.
The Chair would like to acknowledge the presence of the Chair of the Committee on Finance, Senator Lauren Legara. Thank you, ma'am, for being with us. Always
the first hearing, second already, right?
Second already, ma'am.
Oh, no, second.
Second.
Oh, was I here the first time? No.
Hindi pa.
Was Sec Tugadi here the first time?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, then he went to Isabela in my office. Yes, thank you. Hi, good morning to the DOT.
Okay, thank you, ma'am, for being here. At least, iba talaga pag nandito ang nagpapaganda ng umaga.
Hindi, delikado pang dito ako, mapapahaba ang hearing.
Anyway, sige, as you were saying, RPCG commander, so you had 4,000 recruits. Dahil binigyan kayo ng 5,000. Kasi that was my next question eh. Bakit ito parang wala tayong, yung ating pong Philippine Coast Guard has the most number of unfilled positions in the past, no? Kasi nga, ano bang rason doon? Wala tayong makuha permanent uniform personnel, wala bang mapasok sa PCG, or because of the budgetary constraints? Yan na po yung nasagot natin.
Yung pong sa civilian plantilla po, we have 500, almost 500 plantilla position, and 385 has been occupied. And we have only about 120 unoccupied positions. Yung pong karamihan dito is low-level salary grade. Yung nga po yung problema, masyadong mababa yung salary grade. Yung salary grade 1 to 9.
That's what I want to ask. Hindi competitive, in fact. So you're saying that hindi competitive yung ating salary and allowances ng PCG as compared to the others?
Pero yung ating pong recruitment na sinasabi, ito po yung sa mga uniform personnel na Coast Guard na binigyan po tayo ng
4,000.
ng almost 5,000 every year. So for the past year po, we've recruited more than 4,000 and we are already on the second stage.
So this year, you have already recruited 4,000.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
do you have
with that increase, we are able to
man stations?
significantly extended our patrol operations, not only on the coastal but also on the shoreline through foot patrols.
Yeah, because you have a big challenge because we're an archipelago. It's really hard to guard. Especially si Senator Loren, very particular sa environmental destruction. So the Philippine Coast Guard has to also assist, no, in protecting our environmental laws.
Yes, sir. In fact, part of our climate mitigation measures is yung pagkatayo po ng localized mangrove planting areas in coordination po sa ating, of course, yung member po natin ng Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary and the local government units. So meron na po tayong mga ibang lugar na meron po tayong mini-maintain na mangrove areas. So yun po yung ginagawa ng Philippine Coast Guard.
Senator JV, thank you for having me here and reminding me this morning. I would like to ask, since you mentioned about mangroves, just yesterday when I chaired the hearing of the National Greening Program of the DNR, they claimed that since 2011, when the National Greening Program was launched, to the present, the total budget has been 48 billion, but at the time they could not disaggregate the terrestrial and the marine. So, pinapa-disaggregate ko para malaman ko ilan ang linaan sa 7 years sa mangrove. But the discovery was from 310,000 hectares of mangroves in 2011, now it's 303,000. So, despite the 48 billion in the NGP, not all to mangroves, X amount for mangroves in 7 years, we even lost 7,000 hectares. That's just a heads up because I might really cut or zero the NGP. We're spending billions and then lily it. There's something wrong with what you're doing. The reason, of course, is climate change and storm surge and all of that. So we as scientists, as experts, must know the interventions. So I'm glad that Admiral Hermohino mentioned about mangroves. Is that a MOA with the private sector, or is it part of your budget, or do you work with the National Greening Program because they have billions of pesos for that? And when you say you have mangrove reforestation projects, do you do it with LGUs? Do you have a map all over the country? 30 million hectares in the whole archipelago. Which are the coastal barangays? How many coastal barangays do we have all over the country, sir? Of the 42,000 barangays, how many are coastal? Give me the exact number of barangays, please, and give me the exact number of coastal. We have that, right? That's every year I ask that. We should have that. What's the exact number? 42 total barangays. 45. Hindi 42. Can I have the more, not the less? Yeah, I mean exact. May someone give who has the facts here? Exact number of barangays, exact number of coastal barangays. And of the 30 million hectares, ano dyan, how do you measure? Because, and then, of the coastal barangays, how many have mangrove areas? And among those mangrove areas, in the X number of barangay, assuming it's 45,000, ilan po ang coastal dyan? Ilan po ang presence ng PCG? And do you cluster these barangays? And you say that you have coastal marine projects, Bakawan, mangroves, ano po doon? Yun.
Maraming salamat po, ma'am. Ma'am, we don't have the detailed reports on that, but we will furnish you, ma'am, the report on how many have been established mangrove planting areas by the PCG and on the ongoing coordinations with the LGU, because we do it with the LGU, ma'am.
Pondo po ninyo or pondo po
It
ng LGU?
depends sa pondo po ng Philippine Coast Guard, out of our funds, sir. Wala po kaming...
Meron kayong sarili nyong pondo maliban pa sa DNR na NGP. Can you just give me an example? Ay, hindi ko po memorize. Magkano po ang 2018 GAA mangrove planting ninyo sa inyong budget? You know that because you're doing it.
Ipapakuha ko mo yung detail nung 2018 for the
So,
Environmental
see?
Protection Program.
In the whole government of the 3.7 trillion budget, there's so many agencies doing that, right? It's not just the DNR and their NGP. There's the PCG. I'm sure your budget is smaller, but give that to us, please, sir. And I'm sure there are many others doing mangrove. Despite that, SEC, nakakatuwa. 310, naging 303. All these efforts, lumiliit pa. That means the cutting, legal or illegal, the adverse impact of storm surge brought about by climate change, ocean acidification because of things we can't control, it's not, that's the natural hazards, is faster than our replanting, right? So that's what I wanted to understand. So if you're not ready to answer it, sir, can you kindly submit to the committee? I want to know, I'm sure someone has it, how many total barangays, how many are coastal? Of the coastal, where is the PCG present? I'm sure you're not all because ilan lang po ang malawak ang inyong coverage, but how do you cluster it, right? How do you cluster it? And what equipment do you have? Assuming, let's just, let's say, of the 45,000 barangays, sabihin mo na ilang kaya ang coastal. Sabi mo na 20. I'm not sure. Ayan, may numbers ba kayo? How do you cluster it?
Pero on our data, ma'am, we have 9,120 coastal barangay.
Okay. Yeah.
And 914 coastal municipalities.
Okay.
And
pakiulit po, 914
coastal municipalities.
coastal municipalities and 19,000.
9,190, ma'am.
Okay, 9,000 na lang. 9,000 coastal barangays. Pwede po nyong, hindi ngayon, kundi po kayo ready, i-cluster kung paano po nyo kina-cluster para bantayan, tulungan ang mga LGU to protect them on their security, physical, against terrorism and other terrorism and insurgency. Iba pa yung terrorism, iba pa yung insurgency. And drugs, so drugs, criminality, insurgency, terrorism, and adverse impacts of extreme weather events or climate change. So what is the program of the PCG? And I'm just talking about coastal, 9,000 barangays. How about inland waters? So of the inland water bodies, ano po, give me a map, names of inland water bodies where the PCG is present, unless your mandate, sir, is just coastal.
Including the inland waters and the navigable
Yes,
waters,
yes.
ma'am.
So in short, of the 30 million hectares and the 1,600 cities and municipalities, and of the 45,000 barangays, I want to see your very scarce presence. Your scarce presence is not brought about by incompetence. No, it is brought about by the lack of resources given to you. So I want to help you. I want to see in 9,000, how do you batch it together? You batch it per region? Ano? Siyempre, yung contiguous, ganun. At ano ang inyong resources? How many fiberglass boats do you have? Oh, ano pang inyong equipment, di ba?
Probably how many
Do you have
new vessels?
seaplanes?
How many new vessels na probably
Vessels,
can deploy?
yeah. You should have seaplanes. You should have sea ambulances, right? Oh.
Yes, ma'am. We will submit all the requirements
Do
as
you have sea ambulances?
we have ambulances, ma'am, for emergency.
Sea ambulance.
Sea ambulance, ma'am. We have our vessels are all multi-purpose aircraft, so we use it for emergency evacuation. And while we have evacuated medical persons needing medical assistance. So it's not really dedicated for medical evacuation, but our vessels and small crafts are for all multi-purpose
Another question.
use.
Do you know that there's a huge amount of money allocated in the Office of the President for the Coast Watch program? I would assume that you are a beneficiary of that. Or do they do their own Coastal Watch program? Because under the 2.5 billion confidential funds I approved in the Office of the President, part of it goes to the Coast Watch. Am I not correct, Attorney Doblon? Yeah, malaki. If you say you're not a beneficiary, the PCG, then I will ask the OP to explain to me who operates or who implements their Coast Watch program.
There's a separate National Coast Watch Council in the Operations Center, ma'am. But we have also a separate intelligence or confidential fund for, of course, our Coast Guard monitoring. So the Office of the President actually has allotted 10 million for our intelligence operations.
So sa OP po, yung intel budget ng Coast Watch, parte po binibigay sa inyo. Pero meron po silang sariling Coast Watch intel.
Yes,
But they
ma'am.
don't have a capacity like the Coast Guard of warm bodies and equipment and vessels to protect. Diba? Wala po. Intel lang. Yeah.
Yep.
They share that intel with you.
So, part po ng overall kwan natin is meron po tayong, of course, the confidential or intelligence operations and the law enforcement operations. So, magkaiwalay po yung budget classification nun. So, for the operations, sir, we have allocations also for, of course, for yung coastal operations, various coastal operations, law enforcement. So, yung nga po, kung nabanggit po ilan po yung ating, we have about 300 plus small boats being deployed all throughout the Philippines, ma'am. Ito yung mga aluminum boats and fiberglass boats that deployed already.
9,000 barangays, 300 boats.
Yes, ma'am, but for the 2018 we have yun po yung ating present inventory ng assets for coastal patrol. So for territorial patrol, ma'am, and EEZ patrol, we are using our inventory is 20 for medium to large vessels, including 13 from the Bureau of Fisheries that we are operating, we are manning under the operational control of the Bureau of Fisheries.
Ang assets po, yung vessels, sa BFAR, pero kayo po ang nag-ooperate or you converge with them?
We have a joint operation, mama. The vessels are owned by the BFAR, but the crew and the manning are provided by the Philippine Coast Guard.
Gave additional funds to General Esperon for the, I think, was it in coordination with the Coast Guard? Are you familiar with that? For the Eastern Seaboard. Oh, malaki. 120 million augmentation of funds. Was this Intel or buoys? For the buoys, what happened to that? It was a line item. I think there was some confusion on the utilization. It doesn't matter to me who implements it. It's 120 million. Attorney Doblon, Senator Doblon, you know it better. What is it? For buoys? O baka alam po ninyo?
Yes, ma'am.
May mga letter na back and forth.
There was a...
Yeah.
Yung boya sa Philippine price.
Sa opisina, dahil ako'y naniniwala sa seguridad at sa mga buoy na yan, sino ba ho ang mag-i-implement? Saan ang pupunta yung 120 million na yon? At may problema ba kung sino mag-i-implement? I have letters coming back and forth in the office.
Opo, mama. Nasa Coast Guard po yung budget ng 120 million. Nagkaroon po ng problema sa DBM kasi po ang nailagay nila sa budget item is buoy base, which is infrastructure. So inaayos po namin ngayon with the DBM. Inintay lang po namin yung kanilang concurrence or approval to change the path of the budget from buoy base to installation of buoy in Philippine Rice. So, magkaiba po kasi yung boya at yung buoy base. Yung buoy base po kasi infrastructure po kasi yun, ma'am. So, iba po yung installation ng buoy, yung boya mismo. So,
boya and base, that's part of it, di ba? May base para may boya. Di ba ganun?
yung buoy base kasi, ma'am, yun po yung supposed to be na magkakandak ng maintenance nung sa mga buoy. Meron po siyang building facilities. So, hindi po yun yung ni-request ni... Opo.
On land.
On land po.
Base.
Base.
I see.
So nagkaroon po ng problema kaya hindi po na-implement. So ni-request po namin sa DBM to reclassify or i-change the PAP
That's
to...
gonna take time. Wait, do you need a buoy base? I don't know. I wouldn't know why did it become a buoy base. Somebody must have requested for a buoy base. So hindi po buoy. Ang pakaintindi ko General Esperon, boya.
Boya po. Tama po yun, ma'am. Nagka-problema lang po sa pagkalagay sa
Kailangan
budget.
ba ng buoy base o hindi po kailangan?
Meron po kaming buoy base as the moment, ma'am.
Meron na po.
Meron na po
At
kaming
hindi na
buoy
po
base.
kailangan ng karagdagan buoy base for 120 million. Sayang po yung pondo.
Hindi po, ma'am. It's actually the installation po ng boya talaga yung
sayang.
budget.
Yun dapat probably our mistake. We just follow what's written in the request. Yeah. It's lodged under PCG.
Yes, ma'am.
And wala po kayong paggagamitan sa buong Pilipinas ng buoy base or dahil naka-identify sa Philippine Rice, dun lang dapat?
Yung boya po, ma'am, ay naka-indicate sa Philippine Rice, but pwede pong gamitin sa ibang lugar po yung boya.
Hindi.
Pero yung buoy
Nakalagay
base po, meron po kami buoy base. At meron din pong ibang separate project for the installation of buoy base. For the construction of buoy base.
Po kayong 120 million nakalagay buoy base. Hindi naman nakalagay anong region, anong probinsya, anong karagatan. Ibig sabihin, I am sure, Secretary, look, may dagdag kayo sa budget nyo, dinagdag ko 120 million, gamitin nyo. Sigurado naman ako, sa laki-laki ng Pilipinas, ay meron kayong kailangan na buoy base na capital outlay no? Na 120 million. Bagamat nagkamali, kailangan pala ay boya sa Philippine Rice. Hindi naman naka-identify na Philippine Rice lang. Di gamitin nyo sa ibang jurisdiction ang buoy base ito at next year ko na kayo bibigyan ng boya, kayo na ang sumulat ng kailangan nyo para makorek yung this year. Pero wag na natin pa-realign to o pa ibang pangalan dahil sigurado naman po ako may kailangan kayong buoy base in different parts of the country. And hindi kayo makukuha dahil hindi naman naka-identify na pang Philippine Rice lang. Unless you don't need any buoy base all over the country. Is there always a need? Not familiar with this.
Within the of the Senator, mama, mas komplikado po kasi yung buoy base kasi po kailangan po ng lupa yon. Wala pa po tayong identified na pagtatayuan ng buoy base. Meron, kasi po ang program po kasi is boya. So, kay Secretary Esperon po.
Educate us, Senator JV. Are you familiar with the buoy base? Okay, wag na po hahaba dahil mahaba pa tayong magtatanong. In 1 minute, tell us what is a buoy base? How many buoy bases do we have all over the country? Ano po ang silbi niyan sa buhay? Ayan.
Right now, ma'am, we have one buoy base located in Sangli, Cavite City. So, ang purpose po ng buoy base is to maintain yung mga boya po natin na naka-install that need maintenance. So ito po yung kumbaga po ito po yung servicing base natin para sa mga boya at mga lighthouse.
You mean you don't need 120 million all over the country for a buoy base? Napaka-general nung nakasulat po sa GAA. Kung iintayin nyo ang DBM na pumayag, palitan yung buoy base to buoy, ay mag-expire na po yung pondo. If I were you, use the buoy base where you need it, if you need it. But if not, let it revert to Treasury or okay, have it realigned. I'm not sure it will be approved.
Actually, ma'am, the procurement for the buoy was already ready. We are just awaiting the approval from DBM. So the procurement, the specifications have been prepared and are just awaiting the approval for the procurement process.
Procure. Bakit po kayo maghahanda ng procurement? Hindi pa tayo sigurado kung papayag po ang DBM sa pagpalit po ng line item. Doon kayo makukuha. So, balik po sa tanong ko, meron ba hong ibang lugar sa Pilipinas maliban dun sa kinatatayuan ng inyong buoy base na nakakailangan po ng buoy base? O wala na po? Who's an expert here on buoys? No? Wala po. You don't need it anywhere in the country. Po?
Pakiulit po.
Don't you need a buoy base anywhere in the country?
Actually, we have existing project for the installation of buoy base in Cebu and in Romblon.
O di gamitin nyo, yun na nga eh. Yun na nga.
Yun lang ang sinasabi.
That's all I'm saying.
You are marrying the source of fund with your project. Kaya
Yeah.
yun lang ang sinasabi.
Unless Cebu and Romblon are already funded under the 2018 GAA. Naka-earmark, meron na po kayong pondo.
Wala pa, ma'am.
Ayun na nga, ba't hindi ako maintindihan? Yun na nga, di ba naintindihan nyo ako? Magulo ba ako? There was 120 million this year for buoy base. It does not state it's only for Philippine rice. So, you need in Romblon and Cebu. You're being stubborn if you don't use it because it's not identified. So use it because the funds will expire. Now, if you need buoys, write the nomenclature for us, teach us what to write to make sure there's no mistake so that in 2019, it's correctly written and it can be utilized. So no funds are wasted. But if you wait for the BM to realign, it would be forever. It may even be rejected. Unless some suppliers of buoys are lobbying na yan, procurement, nakaabang na yan. Kaya matitigas ang ulo. Sorry. That's only I see it. It's just find solutions. Ganun po. I'll give you your buoys. Just use the buoy base. I hate wastage of funds.
Yes, ma'am. We will
Tapos, turuan nyo kami, dahil
do it,
mga
ma'am.
mali-mali mga salita namin, malay naman ni Attorney Doblo ng buoy base at buoy. Alam niya lang mga boys. Diba? Okay. Sige.
Admiral, tanong ko lang. Admiral Hermogino, ilan po yung bagong there were new vessels that were from Japan, no, na dineliver sa Coast Guard. Are they now being used by you?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. We have the 10 vessels from Japan all already arrived, and all of them already deployed in various parts of the country, sir.
10?
Actually, 2 are deployed in Palawan. Yes, sir. This is the deployment of the 10 vessels.
These are medium-sized?
These are the medium size, 44 meters.
44, that's 100 feet. Malaki na rin, no? O 44 meters, 100 feet. Kalaki yan din.
Yes, sir. And for the information, we have the...
At least yung 4,000 hours, punta niyo 4,000 personnel niyo kung saan niyo i-deploy. At least may mga bagong vessels sa tayo that are medium-sized.
Yun po yung bakit po tayo nag-hire ng maraming personnel because of yung arrival po ng ating mga barko. So we also preparing for the delivery of the Prince project vessel.
Okay, thank you. Since I'll take advantage that the chair of the Committee on Finance is here, she has some concerns regarding the airport and the utilization of the different programs, no? Yung utilization rate. Siguro doon na lang po briefly, no? Kasi importante, I would want also to support, I do not want any delays doon sa ating upgrading of the airports, no? And I think yung 4 airports that will be affected would greatly affect the program, Madam Chair, no? Because the way to decongest na iya right now is to upgrade all the provincial airports so that we will have additional slots that they can operate at night. So there are 4 airports that will be affected because of the budget cuts. Siguro Yusek Tamayo, probably you can brief the chair as to what airports and as to how this would affect the overall program and the decongestion of Mayanaiya.
Through the chair, sir. Now, as far as the night rating of airports are concerned, we already discussed earlier. As I said, we have accomplished, we have night rated 4 since 2017, so that gives us a total of 19. Now, for next year, this year, we're looking at Naga and Tuguegarao for 2018. This does not require any more funding because it is already in place. Now, for next year, 5 po ang aming airports na tina-target for night rating. Out of the 5, yun hong Panglao, funded na ho yan eh. So, ang natitira natin is Kawayan, Dipolog, Pagadian, and Cotabato. So, 5 ang total. Now that will leave us a total of 18 more to be night rated, to give us a total of 44. And as far as night rating is concerned, alam po natin, as what was mentioned by the chair, it will give the passengers option of traveling at night, and we will be able to make use of the free slots at night, starting at 12 to 6 o'clock in the morning. Hindi na po magiging sunset limited yung point of origin ng mga ng mga pasahero. So just to give you an idea po, basic requirements as far as cost in night rating in an airport is concerned, for civil works alone, we estimate about 160 million. Hindi lang po ito paglalagay ng mga ilaw kasi we have to lengthen the runway, we have to widen it, we have to make sure that there are no obstructions and so on. And then second, navigational facilities. Ito ho ang mas mahal kasi navigational aids po ito. It's amounting to about 245 million. Ito ho yung mga VOR natin, yung airfield lighting system natin, ILS if required, yung mga MET equipment, kailangan ho ng mga weather forecasters at the airport. And also, the third one is for the air traffic requirements. Kasi ho, itong mga airports na to, hindi lang ho maglalagay tayo ng ilaw, kailangan ho mag-design tayo ng mga approaches at departures, lalo na ho kung may mga obstructions, and this has to be in place to ensure the safety.
So it's about 400 million per airport to upgrade.
Just about, sir.
Thereabout.
So actually, some airports po naman, hindi naman ho kailangan yung iba, nandun na, malapad na ho o mahaba, tama na ho yan, so it will reduce the cost. However, what I mentioned are just the estimate if we are to an average to upgrade an airport for night operations. When I say night operations po, hindi lang night operation ho ito. It is an instrument-rated airport. Ibig sabihin, pwede hong wala ho nakikita yung piloto at makakalanding po siya.
So how many airports would be the 5? This would be the 5 that will be affected. Yung Kawayan, tama ho ba?
Yun hong for next year natin.
Yung Sukat that will suffer.
Kawayan po, Dipolog, Pagadian, and Cotabato. Panglao po, andyan na ho lahat yan
So only 4 that will be affected.
Yes, sir.
Because of the budget cuts, they will not be able to implement the night rating po. That will be in additional slots for NAIA, the Digongest.
How much is night rating? How to do night rating for an airport? How much is it?
This is what I presented, ma'am. It's an approximate cost of night rating an airport from scratch po. So as I said, if the airport has a tower already, or the runway length is correct, the width is correct, so it will be reduced. It's just an approximate cost.
So the 4 areas that will suffer are Kawayan, Naga.
It's Kawayan, Dipolog, Pagadian, Cotabato, ma'am.
Meaning they cannot have evening flights.
They cannot have evening flights if we don't do the work now as far as night rating is concerned. At the same time, I would like to mention, ma'am, since we have a lot of airports that we intend to night rate, we have to start early because it takes time just to extend the runway. It takes time just to widen it. So it's ongoing po.
Simultaneous?
It
when you fund the extension of the runway and provide for night rating provisions, can that be simultaneous in the same year? Or is it 1 year, extend the runway this year?
It's
next
best,
year?
I'm sorry, ma'am. It's best if it is simultaneous. It will shorten the time.
Okay, let's see. How many airports in the country have night rating?
Right now, we have 19.
19. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
yan. Let me just... okay, that's fine. I'm reading that. Okay. Educate me. What's the advantage of night-rated airports? Actually, common sense. You can have night flights, correct?
That's correct.
If you have
ma'am.
night flights, there's more transfers of people, goods, etc. There's tourism, and you can decongest airports because there's a lot of flights, right? Pag hindi night rated, by 5 p.m. wala na. Correct? 6 p.m.
Sunrise, sunset, ma'am.
Yeah, is Tacloban night rated?
Tacloban is night rated.
Yeah. How about my little airport in Antique, in San Jose? You always forget it.
No, ma'am. We submitted to your office just this morning the timelines.
This morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You already have acquired the land needed to extend the airport.
Yes, ma'am.
You've already acquired the land. You have already extended the airport? Not yet.
Not yet, ma'am.
You are going to do the runway extension.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Para hindi na ako mabiro ni Senator Drilon na ang kailangan lawn mower. Di ba? Sabi niya, ang kailangan mo dyan, kambing at mower. Binibiro ako ng Iloilo eh. Tulungan naman nyo para magkaroon ng economic activity. So, land acquisition is done. The runway provision is there. And pwedeng simultaneous na night rating? No.
But we can target the simultaneous night rating, ma'am, for Antique. However, kailangan habaan nga po natin yon. It will take time. But as I mentioned earlier, everything can be simultaneous, and it will be more efficient.
Did you provide
We did, ma'am.
runway for 2019? That's it. You've acquired the land, you're extending it already, and you can do simultaneous night rating.
We can.
But
That's
then
correct,
it's
ma'am.
not your problem that there are no flights. So, you have to talk to the airlines to have flights. Yun ang problema eh. Baka hindi enough ang air traffic, no?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the pressure you can do, requests, appeals to the private sector to have at least maybe 3 flights a week, etc.? How do you do that?
Ma'am, through the chair, as you said, it is a commercial decision by the airlines. We have to seek the help of perhaps Department of Tourism to encourage them, to tell them that there are, a lot of tourist places there and so on.
So even before we put night rating, magka-flights muna tayo.
Magka-flights muna
so, wag
po
muna
tayo.
isama sa night rating.
Habaan po muna natin.
Habaan muna.
Yes,
Tapusin muna niya yung paghaba ng runway.
Yes, ma'am.
O, sige po.
Probably Yusek Tamayo can educate the chair on the advantage of
Are you saying
night
I'm
rating.
uneducated?
Hindi, ma'am,
Okay.
regarding ano lang. You are very educated, ma'am. Now, regarding the advantage of more night-rated airports, because on how it will be able to decongest NAIA because of the physical limitations, Madam Chair, that's the best we can do on how we can decongest NAIA is to night-rate all the airports. Siguro, Yusek Tamayo, please.
Ganda yun. At saka, ina-night rate para may, at saka kalahati, di ba? Yung mga murang flights nagpupunta ng Bangkok, na mga ganyan, kalahati ang mga presyo, mga, what do you call it, fare? Promo fare, pag madaling araw, ganun. Yung, red eye, yes.
Red eye
yes.
flights, ma'am. Yung NAIA natin, ma'am, from 12 to 6 o'clock in the morning, we have a lot of free slots. But because domestic flights cannot fly through specific destination because of the limitations, mabubuksan po natin ito eh. At the same time, if we move this to these open slots, it will decongest Manila as far as air traffic is concerned. And not only decongest Manila in the air, but it will decongest the traffic. Kasi pwede silang luluwag yung traffic during the day, malilipat sa gabi.
Assuming you have the airports and you'll implement it and we will night rate it, but it's a commercial decision. What if the airlines still don't have enough passengers or planes or pilots who will do the flights? Sayang na night rate natin kung hindi naman kayo nakikipag-coordinate sa private sector.
Ma'am, as far as the airlines is concerned, just to cite an example, yung Clark. Kasi what happened before, all of the flights are out of Manila. And there were hardly any flights out of Clark. Now we talk to them to encourage them, hey, tulungan nyo kami ma-decongest sa Manila. It's going to be for your own advantage if you fly out of Clark. Kasi maluwag doon, we don't have any slots, and indeed they complied. So we have Cebu Pacific, we have PAL, we have Air Asia flying out of...
Chair, alam mo, it becomes a chicken and the egg situation. Some people will say, I will fly there if you have an improved runway and apron and nitrated. So that the idea is, even wala pa yung ibang airline na lumilipad dyan, ilagay mo nitrated, i-improve mo yung airport para maengganyo silang pumasok. So at certain point, it becomes a chicken and the egg. My judgment, in places like Antique and where you have population density, mas mabuti na ho na i-position nyo yung improvement na meron kang improved runway, meron kang nitrated, para may rason sila antemano na mag-position ng aircraft. Pag wala ho yung improvement at wala yung nitrated, may rason silang tumanggi. Tumanggi.
You finish the runway, please, provision for 2019 and lagyan yung nitrated. Kasi ang mga tao, Iloilo pa, babiyahe pa ng 3 oras by land kung nakakotse ka. Kung naka-jeep ka at nakabus ka, depende sa sasakyan, tas ang dilim-dilim. Oh. Tapos sa San Jose yan, sa south. Sa north naman, Katiklan. Wala na ngayong flight sa Katiklan kundi Air Asia. Pupunta ka pang Kalibo na 2-3 hours away from Pandan, Antique. Kawawa ng mga tao, haba-haba ng probinsyang yan eh. At ang ganda ng potential for tourism. So, okay, we will nitrate. Magkano to nitrate Antique Airport?
Since we are starting from scratch, ma'am, I gave the basic requirements already. It's 165 million.
Okay, that's done.
Plus navigational aids and the air traffic requirements.
It will be my amendment.
Yes, ma'am.
For my home province, if my vice chair will agree and support it. Yes.
Of course, anything that would add to nitrating and that will decongest NAIA.
Improve the runway, do your terminal building, nitrate it simultaneously. Remember, it's a cash-based budget, but a cash base is not 12 months. It's already 18 months. So it's a hybrid, I think. So you can do it. Prove to us. You can help a little province, and let's see if it's going to be to stimulate investment. Then maybe the others, we can reconsider the others. Yeah, we can cut from other agencies who are not spending. If you
Likewise,
can do
with the indulgence of the chair, yung po binanggit ko last time, please take a look at Mati Airport also. Meron na ho dan, ma'am, there is already an existing runway. They just have to extend a little, and that would serve Compostela, Davao Oriental, yung economic and tourism. They have 17
right
kilometers.
now, we go to Davao, no?
Ang layo, 3 hours.
Yeah, nagbiyahe pa
And there's 17 kilometers of beach in Davao Oriental, and it's a tuna highway as well.
Doon, papuntang Combal, kundi Davao City tayong lahat. Pag nangangampanya kami or may mga events doon or sa Combal, ang layo, baylan pa, Tagum, tapos papuntang 3 oras. Hindi pa safe yung ibang lugar. Pag meron ng airport dyan, nitrated pa, uusbong ang economic livelihood. Yung mga insurgents, mawawala na lang yan. Oh, yeah. I agree. Mati.
I totally agree with you, Mr. Chair. And we have submitted the plans and the approximate budget.
Ang Sulu
already.
Airport ba, nitrated?
Ay, hindi pa po. We're currently developing Holo right now.
Dapat Cotabato at saka Sulu.
Cotabato ho, medyo advanced na yan. Mananitrate po natin yan by first quarter. Kasama po doon sa 5 yun eh.
Sulu, tulungan nyo. Oo, pakita natin. So, ilista nyo. Mamimili tayo. Ang Sulu, ang Sulu ba ready for nitrating at may runway na or ano?
As far as Holo is concerned, meron na pong runway but it's a bit short and we have an issue on, meron hong hill doon na mataas eh. So we have funds for that already. Para tanggalin po nila yung hill na katabi ng runway.
Delikado magtanggal ng hill.
Oh.
Paano ba ito?
It's being done po by the local government.
Hindi ka basta nagtitibag ng bundok.
Yes, ma'am.
Yun ang, we don't know, no, seriously. Because pag tibag mo ng bundok, may mga puno yan. Baka naman magkaroon ng landslide, soil erosion, so we don't know. Ang DNR, mag-EIA pa yan, Environment Impact Assessment. Magkaka-issue ka kung may mga rebelde dyan sa bundok, hala ka. Oh, so we're not sure. May issue pala sa bundok. That's why you cannot extend the runway.
That's correct, ma'am.
Atibag na nitrating. Naga, Tugigaraw.
Naga meron na po, no? Yusek. So ang naepektuhan Kawayan, Dipolog, Pagadian, and Cotabato. Am I correct?
Yun po, sir.
Ayun po, ma'am. Because Bohol already, there's already, about to open already, tsaka may budget na. So the 4.
And if I may, through the chair, as I said kanina, it would be best if we already start funding the rest para mabilisan.
Yun po yung requirement na lang. Yung Kawayan, 30 million na lang po. And then Dipolog, 52.
Yes, sir.
And then they'll
That's
be
correct, sir.
ready already, nitrated
It will
na.
be
Let's
ready
do
already.
Kawayan.
98.
Yeah. Let's do
Pagkadian.
Kawayan. Let's help the people in the north. Let's help Kawayan. Well, we want to help everything, but since 30, it's ready na. Oo. What's sa ilalim? Number 5, San Jose. Is that San Jose Mindoro or San Jose Antique?
That's San Jose Mindoro.
Ah, you forgot my San Jose.
Wala pa, hindi pa na ano.
Yung Cotabato Airport, Yusek, magkano po ang kailangan? Wala ho dun, So we know that the funding requirement, the Cotabato Airport.
Cotabato Airport, as I said, halos prepared na ho yan eh. It has the lighting system already. Our main issue in Cotabato is more of communication. Pag depart ho ng aeroplano doon, wala ho siya makausap because of the location. With the CNS ATM, we're still trying to find out kung kayang mag-communicate sa aircraft itself after the tower controller, yung departure niya. Yun ho ang issue namin eh, where to locate or where to establish a station that the aircraft will be able to communicate para walang gap. Yes, walang gap.
Vegan Airport is being done this year, right?
Yes,
Vegan
ma'am.
Airport.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. It would be good to nitrate vegan. There's so much tourism in the north. Well, right now, there's Lawag. Yeah.
Yung sinasabi kanina ni Yusek Iski, if I may, yung nasa listahan sa other airports, ang sinasabi niya, baka yung iba dyan, kasi prinopost naman like, iyakyat na mabudget na ngayon. Lalo na ho, yung tama ho kayo, yung sinabi niyo hong vegan for tourism, yung sanga-sanga for purposes of security, kailangan itaas at
Saan yung
pondoan.
sanga-sanga?
Ito.
Tawi-tawi, ma'am.
Sa tawi-tawi.
Sangga-sanga.
Biro mo,
walang-
kailangan ko i-nitrate yan for security.
Kung may emergency at kailangan mag-landing sa gabi, hindi makaka-landing?
Tama po.
No. It's my amendment, our amendment. You have to light isanga-sanga in Bonggao.
Yes, ma'am.
That's the Bonggao Airport.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
That's correct.
ma'am. Kailangan po natin
Why
yan,
do you
ma'am,
call
for
it sanga-sanga?
security.
That's the barangay. Bonggao yan. Okay.
Bonggao.
Yeah. So is it ready? Meaning, there's a runway, etc. It's just for nitrating.
Yes, ma'am,
It's
that's
ready.
correct. It's undergoing development now. There are funds intended for that. The runway is being improved. It's being lengthened already, including the passenger terminal. So it is a candidate now for nitrating.
For security reasons and tourism and trade, and in anticipation of the implementation of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, we want to help our Muslim brothers and sisters. It's important we have all-time 24/7 access to Tawi-Tawi, and we will nitrate so we can land anytime. Okay, that's in Bonggao. Vegan. It's a UNESCO World Heritage City. That's the gateway to the north. Aside from, I assume Lawag is nitrated already, right?
It is an international airport.
Yes, because
so
I've
it's
been landing
nitrated.
there. Okay. But still, that's 2 hours away, 1 hour and a half by land. Iba pa yung vegan. We can promote the north more aggressively if vegan is nitrated. Okay, then all these tour operators, we can talk to Sec Berna, sit down with her. Pwede yan mga red-eye flights, aalis dito yung mga nag-oopisina, aalis ng 10 ng gabi, o ganyan. You can even have every hour flights. You know, there's gonna be robust tourism promotion, I'm sure. Vegan. Ang Romblon, ang ganda eh. Isa pa yan. Oh, pero teka, Siargao hindi pa nitrated.
Ma'am, if I may, Siargao kasi, we have issues right now on terrain. Marami hong bundok to eh. We're not saying that hindi pwede i-nitrate. So there is a study now to relocate the airport.
We will wait pa ganyan. So vegan, I think, is implementable. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm just going from a layman's perspective. Bonggao, sanga-sanga, for security and other purposes. I'm wondering why Governor Alvarez of Palawan and Congressman Chicoy are not lobbying for San Vicente's night rating. Because the airport just opened.
It just opened, ma'am. So right now we're improving it. We will be constructing a tower and we will be extending the runway. This is already in preparation for night rating.
Okay. Busuanga. I've been flying to Busuanga since I was a child for 30 years. It's not night rated. I'm surprised. You should night rate Busuanga. Imagine when you're in Busuanga, then you go to Coron with all the tourists there. In Busuanga, in Coron, in Culion, in that area, and you're stuck there. If there's an emergency at night, you cannot take off or land. I think you should night rate Busuanga. Is it already extended, yung runway? Matagal na yun eh. Bata pa ako, ganun na yung issue.
Ma'am, if I may, as far as Busuanga Airport is concerned, you're correct. There are obstructions, there are hills. So we have funds already for that to reorient the runway. Meaning, we'll have a runway that does not endanger the flight because of the proximity. We have the land area, it's owned by government as well, so we don't have to spend for that.
That's the YKR, the Yulo King Ranch?
It's right beside the existing airport.
That's government, yung sequestered nun, YKR.
I think so, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
You mean the whole Busuanga Airport will be reoriented, new runway and everything?
Yes, ma'am.
Why, it's dangerous now?
It's dangerous in a sense that the approach kasi malapit ho sa hile. I'm sure you've seen that. And it's quite turbulent. So if by reorienting it, we remove that danger and we can have a runway that is two-way.
So we can't do night rating because you're reorienting the whole runway?
Not as of now, ma'am.
Oh, I didn't know it was dangerous. I always fly to Busuanga. Delikado pala doon.
But during the day, ma'am, it's fine because the pilots can see. It's a visual approach.
Ibig po niyong sabihin, sa lalawigan ng Palawan, ang pwede lang maglanding sa gabi ay Puerto.
Puerto Princesa.
Aba, paano na yung kung may mga emergency sa Busuanga? Hindi. San Vicente, bago lang yung airport. El Nido is a private airport. Diba? It's Ayala owned, no? So Puerto lang. With such a big, long province, Puerto lang. Ang biyahe mula sa El Nido, by land ka sa San Vicente, going to Puerto, mga 5 oras, hindi ba? By land.
Yes, ma'am.
We have to give it more access to Manila. And is Puerto Princesa an international airport? No, it's not.
It is an international airport
now. Are there direct
now.
flights internationally to Puerto?
There are already, ma'am, coming from China.
So if you have direct flights from Manila, which there are, and there's night flights of Puerto, and there's international flights coming in to Puerto, then if you have night flights in 1 or 2 in Busuanga, for example, or San Vicente, it will really spur tourism. Right?
I agree, ma'am.
Then, maluwag. Darating na yan ang mga, pwede sila mag-red-eye flights, tapos may connecting na hanggang Busuanga. Yeah. So direct. Let's say from, saan ba ito? Name me, in China. Saan ang direct flight from China, for example, to Puerto? Guangzhou.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Kunyari, Guangzhou, let's say Guangzhou to Puerto. Kunyari,
good morning, ma'am. It's more from Korea right now, ma'am.
Seoul. Seoul, Puerto. Tapos, kung meron kang Puerto Busuanga, ayun.
Totally agree, ma'am.
Pero, maski bigyan namin, hindi nyo kayang gawin ang Busuanga. Kasi gusto ko sanang i-nitrate ang Busuanga. Tagal na yung 30 years.
Ma'am, we have 1 billion already for Busuanga reorientation. So it has the funds already for reorientation.
Kasi, I've been here 20 years. I've been hearing that also for 20 years. I never knew it was a dangerous airport. Can we also confirm if the Siargao Airport will be relocated just like you are relocating the runway of Busuanga? Because you mentioned, so dalawa yan, yung Holo, may bundok, yung Siargao, bulubundukin, at yung Busuanga. So yung mga may bundok, anong gagawin natin?
Yun hong Siargao, there are funds for that already to study the relocation and possible site acquisition of the new airport in Siargao. It is more
New airport, a new location in another LGU, or just like the Busuanga airport, you're just realigning the runway because it's dangerous?
It's a new location, ma'am. It's more centrally located at the center of Siargao.
Okay.
where
Can you
we-
kindly look at your NEP? That's under your budget sec. You have Siargao Airport provision. I don't know, 500. I don't know, 500, right?
500 po.
Okay. Let me just ask you. You put it in your NEP, Sec Art, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Kayo po, was it a legislator who asked you to put it, or kayo po because of the need?
May plano na ho yun, may working plans.
So, hindi po yan pork.
Hindi naman. Sa
Okay.
akin pong pagkakalam.
Vegetarian po kayo, hindi po pork yan. O, sige po. So, kinaklaro ko lang po kasi nasa listahan po yan na nakita namin po na sabi pork. So, is it a priority project na pinag-aralan po ng DOTR na nandyan po sa NEP ninyo, sa President's Budget?
Kasama ho ito sa mga sinumiti namin sa DBM na lahat yung mga sinumiti sa DBM, meron ho mga courses of actions at program already.
Understood. O, kinaklarify
na in
ko lang po.
place.
Itong 500M po ninyo, will it enhance and correct the present runway para po hindi delikado sa bulubundukin? Or itong 500 na ito ay para sa bagong airport na LGU na lalagyan po ninyo?
Ma'am, it's for the new airport.
For the new.
Yes, ma'am.
Why was it cut? That's another area for, don't get me, I don't own a single drop of sand in Siargao. I have not even been to Siargao since 1998, since my first campaign. So, I'm just asking because I just see on Instagram, ang gaganda ng Siargao, gusto nga puntahan. Then I saw it cut. So, I understand now that the present airport is not suitable
No, ma'am.
because it could be dangerous because of the mountains. And so, you already have the land, you will change the location of the airport, and that is the reason why you put 500 million in your president's budget in the NEP for the Siargao airport. Am I correct?
That's correct, ma'am.
You already have the land.
Not yet, ma'am. This 500 million is also for lot acquisition.
It's land acquisition
Yes,
and
ma'am.
runway, or only land acquisition?
Land acquisition and initial earthwork for the airport.
I see. Is it necessary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because of
So maybe we have to restore. Don't get me wrong, no one's lobbying with me, I don't have land there.
The bigger arguments there for Siargao, ma'am, was the potential for tourism. So that if we will use the old airport, it might limit the potentials of that place for tourism.
The restoration of the new location for the Siargao airport.
Meron ho doon, every year ginagawa yung fishing, Olympics of fishing. And
We know. Okay. Sige po. So, we talked about the security need for Bonggao, Tawi-Tawi, the danger of Busuanga, so it will not be transferred to another location, but just a reorienting of the runway, but you already have the funds for that, but the night rating is not yet feasible, o isabay na nyo?
as soon as we reorient that, ma'am, isasabay na namin yan eh.
No, ibig sabihin sa pondo for next year,
Ay,
kaya na nyo
wala
isabay?
pa, ma'am. Wala pa.
Hindi, wala pa.
Wala pa. Yeah.
Ang tinatanong po namin, kaya ba nyong isabay? Kung bibigyan namin kayo ng pondo. Kasi that's tourism also. That's sabay-sabay. You know, I've been going there for 30 years. Ang potential for tourism. And remember, the only night rating in Palawan is Puerto. So, kasabay ba nyo pag reorient? Magagastos ba nyo yung pera? Oo.
ang
Kasi
huna
baka
ho,
masisi ako, masayang yung...
meron existing pondo yan, ma'am, na 1B. Siguro, para lang hindi mabulunan ng pondo, gamitin na at usugin yung 1 billion and then provide in the future for the total development on nitrate.
Una po, i-nitrate.
Opo. Ubusin ho muna natin yung, gamitin ho muna yung existing fund, ma'am. Mga 1B ho yan.
No, but that's not for night rating. That's only for extension or reorientation of runway.
That's correct, ma'am.
No, it still doesn't. So, all you're saying is you're being truthful. You may not be able to do the reorientation of the runway and the night rating in 12
At the same
months.
time.
At the same time.
Kailangan ma-reorient ho. Pag natapos yung reorientation,
Sige.
saka ipasok
Iba nang
po yun.
papakausapan nyo na hindi na ako, wala na ako dito nun. Sige. Yung sinasabi ko lang sa inyo, yung mga kaya kong gawin ngayon, gagawin ko para matulungan kayo. Pero kung hindi kaya, at least you're being truthful para po. Tapos yung Siargao, naintindihan natin na kailangan ng bagong airport dahil delikado po at sayang oportunidad sa turismo. Okay. Saan pa?
Yung Mati, isama na rin natin sa program.
Mati, tama
Because that
yun.
will really improve especially ma'am, may mga insurgency dun sa Compostela, Davao Oriental, the eastern side of Mindanao. You will really, for economic development, mawawala insurgency
I
po ron
agree.
sa area yan.
Yeah, region, para hindi puro
Kahit na
Davao
hindi mo na
City
night
lahat.
rated, kahit ano lang. Diba?
Airport, yeah. Airport sa Mati. Makaka-benefit dyan Nabunturan, di ba? Combal, Tagu. Oo. Yes.
We already proposed through the chair funds for Mati. So initially it was 89 million tinaasan natin para for jet operations.
Huwag nyo kalimutan ang San Jose Antique sa night rating.
Yes,
Diba?
ma'am.
Sabi nyo kasi maliit lang, kaya naman nyo sabay, kasi wala naman reorientation, existing runway, ginagawa na at saka night rating.
We'll
Tapos
comply,
tulungan
ma'am.
nyo ako makiusap sa mga may-ari ng mga airline na magkaroon ng maski 3 times. Kayo na ho, wag na ako magmakaawa sa kanila. Wala nang flight sa Katiklan Pwedeng ilihis sa San Jose. At saka pwede naman, hindi naman lahat Maynila, pwedeng Clark, San Jose.
Yes,
Diba?
ma'am. Yes.
San Jose, Mindoro. San ba ang kanilang airport? May Mamburao at meron San Jose.
That's correct, ma'am. Merong San Jose. We have a lot of flights there. It's jet. It's capable of handling jet operations. Yung San
Two
Jose.
airports, Mamburao and San Jose? Which
No,
is the
it's only San Jose.
There's an airport in Mamburao.
There is also an airport in Mamburao, pero pan-turboprop lang, ma'am. And hardly any traffic yet as of now.
Just the capital.
San
Sa
Jose?
Ok. So, the big aircraft are in
San Jose.
San Jose.
Yes, ma'am.
And you are proposing for the night rating of San Jose.
That's correct, ma'am.
Is it needed?
It is.
Because
Since it is a jet airport.
that's, I'd like to have yan ang mga mahihirap na lugar na ang ganda ng potential na merong insurgency. So right now, kasi ang mga tao dyan nagro-roro Pati yung governor at saka yung congress, nagro-roro sila papuntang Batangas City. Walang flight sa gabi. Nag-overnight roro sila, alam ko. So, ba't hindi natin in-nitrate ang San Jose? Makakatulong, di ba?
Makakatulong po, ma'am.
Sa economic activity, that must be a reason why. So, the two San Jose Antique and San Jose Oc Mindoro. Because this will spur economic activity. And then, let's sit down with tourism for red-eye flights. Yung mga millennials, they would love those, I mean, let's drop the rates. The commercial airline should agree to put red light flights, and let's be creative about having tours between and among these areas. Diba?
Yes,
Pwede?
ma'am. Yes.
I don't know.
At least your coming back here is worth it because our chair is very supportive of the improvement, upgrading of the airports because this will really spur economic development. Anyway, it's not just tourism.
Oo nga ho, nawala sa submission namin lahat yun.
Okay. Where is the airport in Romblon now?
Tandag.
Tablas.
Tablas, yes.
Okay. And this is Tablas.
Tablas, ma'am.
Right now, it's not nitrated.
It is not nitrated. And we still have to lengthen that runway as well. But it's good for turboprop operations already.
Do you have provision for the runway extension in your 2018?
None, ma'am.
People need help there also.
Meron po
Yeah.
ako, ma'am, pinapaaral sa kanila.
Yeah.
na pag yung mga existing airport na hindi naman papunta sa tubig o tatamaan ng bundok, ibigay ko na ng provision na i-extend mo yung runway, saka i-extend mo rin yung width para to allow a better operation at some time in the future. So, yun ho yung isang pinasisilip ko sa kanila. Talagang ang handicap po dyan, pag yung runway mo, tutumbok sa bundok o tutumbok sa dagat. Pero kung flat, ang ano ko ho sa kanila, increase nyo na yung runway, increase nyo yung width to allow for a operation of wider aircraft.
Correct. Huwag po tayo mag-antay na ang mga commercial airlines, ang private sector, ay magplano ng flights. Let's provide the infrastructure all over the country where there are existing airports. You're correct, na walang tubig o walang bundok. I-widen na natin, habaan na
To
natin.
entice them.
To entice them. I will help you talk to them even if I'm in the private sector next year. So let's prepare. This is part of your build. You're correct. So give the committee a list of all regional provincial airports, those which don't have hindrances in terms of bundok, hills, or water, that are ready to be expanded and lengthened and nitrated. When you do that, and I cannot do it everything next year. Then the next year, you'll be here. You'll be here for another 6 years. You should be re-elected. Please continue espousing for this. And remember, I will come to you next year as a private sector requesting you, not for my own benefit. I don't own lands or businesses in these areas. But I just think that this will empower rural livelihoods and people to ano. So, ihain na nyo yan. May roadmap kayo. Not for the long term, short term. Ano yung kayang gawin lahat for 2019? Anong kaya 2021, 22? At the end of 2022, lahat ng regional airport nyo, lumawak, humaba, nailawan, o may access lahat. And then, inventaryohin nyo sa pribadong sektor, yan, lahat ng malaki at maliliit. Ito, develop kayo ng flights, inter-island, starting ng 8 ng gabi hanggang madaling araw. Ang ganda. I don't know if I'm just living in my own world, but I think that with 100 million population and you give access at night sa drop rates, mura, sa mga lugar, they're gonna discover the country. And then, pag meron kang airport na gumagana sa kabe, meron dyan restaurant, meron dyan cafeteria, meron dyan road transport, rent-a-car, meron dyan tricycle, meron dyan jeep, meron dyan trabahador, meron dyan convenience store, di ba? Ayan. So, biglang uusbong ang mga micro-enterprises.
Dagdag ko na rin po, ma'am, kaakibat ho dyan yung planting the seeds for domestic tourism.
Yes.
How? Ito ho yung inumpisahan natin sa Department of Transportation na 4 days week work. Week work. So yung 3 araw ho yan.
4 days work week.
4 days work week. Ito ho, ang Filipino family, pag binigyan mo ng 3 araw na makakasunod dyan, lalakad dyan, magpupunta yan sa domestic tourism. Kaya
Tatang 4 na araw lang nagtatrabaho. Huwag naman tayong tamad.
hindi ho tamad yun, ma'am. Kasi linengten mo yun, ma'am eh.
Yung oras.
Yung mawawala hong 8 hours dun sa isang araw, isampa mo dun sa 4.
Bakit kami? 15 hours a day. 6 days a week. Kagabi, ano oras ako umuwi? Diba? 10, 11 ng gabi. Ako, 7 a.m. up to 11 p.m. Wala akong 4 days work week. Sige. You're asking a declaration of only 4 days?
Po namin sa may approval ho ako sa civil service.
Sa inyo lang po.
Sa Department of Transportation ho.
Attorney Doblon, natutulog po sa opisina dito. Hanggang Sabado-Linggo po yan. Ganyan kami dito po. Nagmamalasakit sa budget nyo. Hindi ako nagyayabang. Totoo yan. Yan ang mga nakaupo dyan sa likod ay talaga mga walang bakasyon. Minsan naman pabakasyonin nyo sila sa mga tourism sites na yan.
And also, ma'am, to add to that, no, yung siguro kaya yung tourism arrivals natin, we cannot match Thailand and others because we are an archipelago. But with the improvement of these airports, as pointed out by our chair, that would really greatly increase.
Oh, I'm glad that Senator JV mentioned that. Gusto ko lang ma-educate, enlighten us. Ihambing natin sa Thailand at sa Indonesia itong ating existing na regional airports na hindi naka-extend ang runway o hindi nalawakan at hindi na nitrate, ihambing natin sa kanila. Ganon din ba sila? Or mas marami silang regional na naka-nitrated? Baka naman mas masama palagay nila sa atin. Yusek.
Yes, ma'am. Ang problema kasi, hindi naman po problema. One thing unique about the Philippines, and 7,000 islands tayo eh. Kailangan talaga, we need to have these airports. Unlike Thailand, it's one big landmass eh. So mas maganda yung travel nila eh. It's the same thing with Malaysia. I think Indonesia has the same issues, and that is also their direction, is to develop the airports outside. I think they have more islands than us eh, yung Indonesia itself. So they're doing the same.
Okay. So, just to summarize, this will enhance, encourage, increase the trade in goods and services, domestic tourism, and encourage more micro, small enterprises in those areas. Okay, we support it based on what we agreed on the areas for expansion.
So it will be, to remind, just for the information of the chair, it will be for a year, 4 kada taon ang ating pong target for upgrading to
4 or more, sir.
4 or more.
4 or more.
Baka hindi matapos yung 44. Pag puro 4 lang.
Actually, to go with the line of our chair, yung pong gagawin po nating upgrading, improvement of infrastructure, yung pong lahat po yan, railways, airports, it's not only convenience, it's really economic development. It's jobs and opportunities, di ba? So, tama po yung inaano ni Chairman Lauren, that especially in those areas that meron pang mga problema, probably it's high time that we take a look para po pag magkaroon ng needed infrastructure there will be economic activity. Diba? Mawawala po yung ano natin eh. Ma-resolve po natin even the insurgency and other problems. So, actually malaking papel nyo, Sec. Tucade. Big challenge, but I think for the administration of the President, malaki ho ang papel ng DOTR, especially the inflation, all of these problems coming in, malaki yun, dapat i-fast track ko talaga from the railways, no? Sa USEC, the TJ, talagang dapat bilisan nyo po yan because right now, yung inflation, the only thing that I can see is that kailangan mapabilis nyo yan because of the immediate multiplier effect, no? Brought about by the big infrastructure projects, yung construction, yung services, yung materials and everything. At least mamimitigate ho natin yung problema ngayon sa inflation. Malaki talaga. And it's not just the convenience. Actually, it's more of economic development. In all the areas, ma-spread out pa natin ang economic development in all the provinces, no? By improving the massive infrastructure. And of course, yung mga airports natin, considering that we are an archipelago, we have to improve the airport. So at least Sector Gade, ano naman, worth it ito yung pagbalik nyo dahil yung si Chairman Lawrence very supportive of our plans for the upgrade of the airports and the different infrastructure for DOTR. No? At least malaking bagay ito, especially for economic development. Malaking po ito. Okay. Siguro TJ, Yusek TJ, can you since the chair was not here, probably give her a bird's eye view of the railway project siguro, and a briefer siguro. Hindi naman kailangan lahat, pero siguro pakita mo na lang lahat para mas maganda yung appreciation ng buong committee, especially the chair is here. Let us take advantage that she would understand, and that by the time that we defend the budget of the OTR, at least they can see already where it will go, diba? So sige, Yusek TJ, probably can brief the chair of the status of the railway projects.
Thank you po, Mr. Chair, Madam Senator. Next slide, please. Mr. Chair, Madam Senator, we will begin po with the projects that comprise our PNR Luzon system. Pero siguro po as an overview, currently po we have only 77 kilometers of regularly operating rail service. And the current pipeline po brings that up to 1,500 kilometers by 2022 to 2025. So a big part of that po is what we call our PNR Luzon system, which is comprised of the projects listed on the screen. Part 1 po is PNR Clark 1, Tutuban, Malolos. This is a 38-kilometer system. We had our bid submission po for this nung Monday. PNR Clark 2 is a 68-kilometer extension connecting Manila to Clark International Airport and to New Clark City. Ito po, we are going to start our bidding in October. Subic Clark Railway is going to connect Clark to Subic to create a freight and logistics corridor and eventually connect via freight also to Manila, to Batangas, and the rest of the Luzon Island. We have 2 future projects po that are ongoing development, under planning pa lang to and project development, which will further extend PNR po to the north. PNR Calamba is a 56-kilometer segment naman po of our commuter system that's going to bring us to Calamba. And finally po, PNR Bicol is our long-haul line that is going to connect us po to Matnog, Sorsogon, and Batangas. Very quickly lang po, there are 3 projects in this list that comprise po our commuter system. Tutuban Malolos is going to be fully financed by JICA. Malolos Clark, PNR Clark 2, and the PNR Calamba, the South Commuter, is going to be co-financed by JICA and the Asian Development Bank. And the long-haul line po is going to be financed by China. In fact po, yesterday, representatives from the China Exim Bank visited some segments of our long-haul line in preparation for our intended signing of the loan agreement for this in November during the visit of President Xi Jinping. Next slide, please. Mr. Chair, I will skip na po the individual project slides just to so we give an overview. So next slide. Next, let's skip na the PNR projects. Okay. Now we go po to our LRT and MRT projects in Metro Manila. First po is our extension of our existing 18-kilometer LRT1. So currently LRT1 runs from Roosevelt Station to Baclaran, and we're extending that by 11 kilometers to Nyog Bacoor. Following po the Secretary's directive to pursue partial operability where we can do partial operability, phase 1 of this, or the partial operability section from Baclaran to Dr. Santos Station is going to be operational po by the middle of 2021. Currently, we are already setting up our construction yard behind SM Sukat, and we are going to start building our piers by the first quarter of 2019, actually po by January. And by the middle of next year, we will start with girder launching po. Next slide, please. LRT2 East Extension is a 3.5-kilometer extension of the existing LRT2 towards the east. We're adding 2 stations. We're adding Emerald Station and Masinag Station. The viaducts of this extension are already 100% complete. The stations are 60% complete, and the electromechanical systems will be installed between this 4th quarter and the middle of 2019. We should be operational po, towards po the beginning of 2020, if not 4th quarter of 2019. So, next slide, please. The west extension naman po is the other end of LRT2. So currently we terminate in Recto Station. we are adding 3 stations, Tutuban Station, Divisoria Station, and Pier 4 Station. This is intended po to achieve intermodality, number 1, with PNR in Tutuban, and number 2, with our passenger ferry ports in Pier 4 and the adjoining ports. Next slide, please. Next slide. The subway project po, our very first subway is a 30-kilometer system that's going to connect Quirino Highway to FTI as well as NAIA, the International Airport. So we are going to start with the first 3 sections as our partial operability section, and we are scheduled po to have our groundbreaking in December. The rest of the system, and to complete by 2022, the rest of the system will start construction in 2020 and be operational by 2025. Next slide. Our ongoing construction project. This is a 23-kilometer system from San Jose del Monte, Bulacan, going to North Avenue or the common station in Quezon City. This is going to be completed by the middle of 2020, and construction is in full swing. Next slide, please. Next slide. And the common station po is our intermodal transfer station in North Triangle. Previously, this was going to connect 3 lines only, LRT1, MRT3, and MRT7, but we have also connected the subway. We have also added a station for the subway in the common station to make this a truly intermodal form. Or
sorry to cut you, Yusek TJ. Anyway, wala na si Chair. Narinig ka naman na yan, okay na yan.
Sige po, salamat.
I'm very supportive of that naman. Anyway, what is more important is that yung po mga not cuts, so we will may makatulong na ako, no? The Chair of the Finance will no less than the Chair of the Finance will help restore, especially para huwag tayong maputol dun sa ating program for the upgrading of the airports and the other projects. Siguro bago lang tayo, no, before we adjourn this morning session, just meron na pinapatanong si Senator Grace po, no, sa akin, no. According to meron na siyang concerns regarding sa Grab. Siguro pwede sagutin ni Commissioner Corpus, Commissioner Eileen, nandiyan na kayo sa likod. Pwedeng kahit sino sa inyo. According to Grab, their accreditation as TNC expired on July 2017 but was not reviewed by LTFRB. So what is the status of their renewal of application? Sige pa, pwede nyo ba sagutin?
Dahil po sa mga maraming na i-file din na kaso against them, marami hong, actually meron ho isa yata nag-file na i-disaccredit sila. So hanggang di ho namin na-resolve yun, hindi pa po namin ma-desisyonan kung a-accredit sila o hindi.
But considering they're the biggest now, they about 80%, I would say.
Roughly.
At least, dati 90%, baka 90% pa. So wouldn't that paralyze the whole TNC, TNV services?
Palagi ko naman po hindi, kasi pwede po kasi mag-multi-uppers ang lahat ng TNVS. Not necessarily Grab ka lang, pwede ka pong sumali sa iba.
Ang sabi kasi nila, they are operating at risk because Chairman Delga says that LTFRB still has to look into the cases of Grab violations before they can renew it. No? So Grab feels that they have a knife held onto their throat. So until when do you, when is the estimated when you have resolution for the cases or the against Grab kaya?
Hindi ko pa masiguro, pero ano lang ho siguro pagdating ho ni Chairman sa October 2, first week of October po, upuan na namin.
Okay. Yung po yung tinatanong, what is the bearing of the cases filed against Grab if with respect to their accreditation? Yun lang ba, ano ba yung mga cases yan? Ma-complaint ng customers, clients?
Actually, isa nga hong complaint doon, TNC nag-complain eh. Kina-question po yung kanyang qualification as a Filipino corporation. Tapos yung pong isa doon, yung sa in-apply nga nila na...
So hanggang kailan ba yung expiration ng
Actually, expired
Grab?
na po.
Expired na sila.
Pero
so are they Di ba kahit month to month or kasi they're operating at risk.
Pwede naman po sila mag-operate.
Pwede sila mag-operate. No? Kasi may mga kaso yun, nabasa pa natin sa news, di ba? Yung mga, ano ba yun? Yung concerning Grab drivers, no? So, those are how many cases po, para lang malaman natin?
Hindi ko po
Hindi malaman?
masabi, pero meron po, alam ko lang po, 2 malaki. Kasi pinapa-disaccredit sila nung isang TNC.
Yung mismong TNC ang nagpapadis for two Grab drive, yung vehicle and operator ng TNVs.
TNCs po mismo ang
TNCs mismo?
Apo.
Ganun kalaki yung kaso. Anyway, please submit the report na lang ho, especially to the Chair of the Public Services, Senator Grace po, because dahil tinututukan ho niya ito. Okay, so I guess that's about it, no? Meron pa naman iba pero very minimal lang. MRT, nagkaroon na tayo ng update sa last time. So when is Sumitomo coming? Kailan pa papasok ang Sumitomo this year? So,
Yung ano po namin is this month actually.
this month, okay. So we'll expect hopefully improvement, pero 30 months ang hinihingi nila to totally rehabilitate the MRT system, no? So but at least still congratulations pa rin at wala masyadong breakdowns. You have made at least with what you have, you are making already with what you have, no? You have taken advantage. Okay, so since I have no more since there are no more matters, I have no more concerns regarding the OTR in its attached agency. The budget of the DOTR is now approved under this committee and will now be submitted for plenary debates. So before that, butihin nyo, bilisan nyo. Bilisan nyo yung mga project dahil mamaya hindi na akong magsuporta sa inyo. Bahala kayo. Buti, very supportive kami sa inyo. Diba? Anyway, congratulations. This hearing is now suspended.